The gala reception offered by the Indian diaspora at the Kudos Bank Arena has woken everyone up in Australia to the potential and the strength and the dynamism of the Indian diaspora. That's what stands out. And Prime Minister of Australia, Tony Albanese, coming out and openly calling on that stage in front of an 18,000 plus diaspora and the global audience watching, saying PM Narendra Modi is the boss. That's made headlines across newspapers and not just in India, but also all across Australia. Even the Australian channels are headlining the aspect that suddenly this man who's very, very popular, everybody wondering how is he so popular, for their own prime minister say he's the boss, that underlines the cooperation, the respect and of course the engagement that these two nations are going to have with each other. And somewhere that story stands out. Across media this has been spoken about, but along with that, the potential of the Indian diaspora, how much they can engage and work with the Australian polity, that stature, जैसे कहते हैं ना भाव बढ़ गया, that also has happened. This is something which the Indian diaspora is very thankful to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for executing and for implementing. And these aspects stand out in this entire engagement, and that has translated into the bilateral conversation. So one of these aspects was what? The key concern which stands out outside of the economic cooperation, green energy, climate, strategic partnership, is the issue which perhaps is top of mind, is the rising vandalism and secessionist activities, and there are those people who want to try and rattle up the Indian diaspora here. This Indian diaspora is 700,000 strong. They are a very strong, very big grouping and also very active contributors to Australia. So somewhere Prime Minister Narendra Modi in that bilateral very clearly saying these concerns have been raised with his counterpart Anthony Albanese, but he used the word of algavad. That means secessionist activity, and that is perhaps taking that line further beyond just vandalism, beyond just hate or bigotry, to the realm of secessionist activity in Australian soil. And with India bringing that aspect up, I think very clearly the Australian counterparts have also realized that in this messaging, if there is secessionist messaging, whatever is the kind of messaging, if it is beyond just pure political or beyond just pure religious bigotry, if there is a hint of secessionism, Australia will crack down. And that assurance has come in not just from Anthony Albanese, the Honourable Prime Minister, but also from the Foreign Minister Penny Wong, saying Australia is not going to tolerate this. We are proud of our multiculturalism and we're going to take care of the Indian diaspora. That is something which stands out in this engagement between the two nations, along with the fact that India and Australia realize two vibrant democracies, one can complement, supplement, help the other. So India can provide valuable workforce, resource in STEM sectors, and also give them, take advantage of the education sectors in Sydney. And whereas, beg your pardon, not just Sydney, in Australia, where Australia can contribute with minerals, with energy sources, with raw material, and of course the expertise of implementation in infrastructure and investments, because Australian businessmen have the money, the capital to set up shop in India across sectors. Healthcare is focused, pharmaceuticals is focused, mining minerals is focused, manufacturing is focused, and across these spread, along with education, yes. So along with in all these sectors, India and Australia can cooperate at a greater level. To smoothen out the remaining creases is something which is being worked behind the scenes. Hard work is happening, and of course the strategic tie-up in the Indian Ocean region between India and Australia. Can these two big nations help some of the smaller nations not just prosper without any geopolitical transactional sword hanging over them, but purely because we want nations to grow and grow together. And there are other nations who are battling the effects of climate change because it's very near, the danger is very clear and present for them. But if those nations sink, if those nations get destabilized, it will have an impact even on the rest of the world, especially nations with huge coasts. Australia is like a huge continent, but it's an island continent. India is a peninsula. Our coastlines are also something which we need to worry about. All these aspects have been spoken about, and I think that's what makes this engagement very, very significant in taking forward the Indoors relationship.